अस्सलाम वालेकुम गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू आवर चैनल। दिस इज़ फरहान परवेज।
दिस इज आपका भाई राहिल शहजाद।
उम्मीद है आप सब लोग खैरियत से होंगे, ठीक ठाक होंगे और एकदम बढ़िया होंगे। आज हम एक और वीडियो लेके आप लोगों के पास हाजिर हुए हैं। इस वीडियो का नाम है माई लाइफ इन इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान 10 अनएक्सपेक्टेड डिफरेंसेस। ये एक फॉरनर है, उसने इंडिया में भी ट्रैवल किया, ट्रैवल ब्लॉगर है शायद, और पाकिस्तान में भी किया, और दोनों कंट्रीज में इसने कुछ
डिफरेंसेस देखे हैं अनएक्सपेक्टेड वो
तो
उसमें बताए होंगे। अच्छी होगी यार डिफरेंस वाली, आजकल वीडियोस आ रही है, मजा आ रहा है।
आजकल ये बहुत चल रही है डिफरेंसेस वाली। अभी एक और नया आया भाई, एक ब्लॉगर अभी पाकिस्तान आया हुआ है।
अच्छा,
वो यार वो जो उधर आया था
मुंबई
नहीं, करतारपुर में आया था। उसकी
अच्छा।
वो उसकी इंडियन वाइफ है, एक उसकी वाइफ है, वो इंडियन है, वो वहाँ का है, न्यूजीलैंड का।
अच्छा, नहीं याद
और
नहीं
वो
मुझे।
तुम चेहरा देखोगे ना पहले, वो पाकिस्तान आया हुआ है।
बाय फेस शायद मुझे याद
वो
है।
भी पाकिस्तान आया, वो पाकिस्तान पूरा घूम रहा है।
अच्छा,
उसके व्लॉग्स आ रहे हैं। तो आजकल ये चल रहा है, वो फॉरनर्स आते हैं, जो इंडिया जाता है वो पाकिस्तान आता है, जो पाकिस्तान आता है
ऐसी
वो
बात है, करीब करीब में
इंडिया जाता है, करीब करीब में। और टूरिज्म डेस्टिनेशंस अच्छी हैं। तो गाइस विदाउट एनी फर्दर डू लेट्स स्टार्ट द रिएक्शन। ओरिजिनल वीडियो का लिंक और टाइटल आपको टॉप ऑफ द डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा। मेक श्योर टू सपोर्ट द ओरिजिनल क्रिएटर। और उसके साथ साथ अगर हमारा रिएक्शन पसंद आए तो चैनल को ज़रूर
सब्सक्राइब, चैनल को
सब्सक्राइब मार दें। अगर आप करें नहीं, मार दें
जोर से रख के मार।
As you know, India and Pakistan used to be, the same thing for quite a long time. But then, when the British left the region, they eventually became divided into once again India and Pakistan. And very unfortunately, the division was, a very, very hard thing for so many people. Until this day, there's quite a few unresolved conflicts there, with Kashmir and other places. And even though all of those people are really nice and really kind and really awesome, apparently, there's a bit of division still going on, and I really hope that changes in the future. However, I've spent quite a few months traveling all around India, and I just finished traveling 10 days all around Pakistan. So I feel like I have a pretty decent idea of how different those two countries are and how different their people are. Today I actually want to compare them and talk about the 10 unexpected differences of my life in Pakistan versus India. Let's go. Difference number 1 is beeping. I don't know if you know this or not, but one of the worst things for me in life is when people beep. Now, when you're traveling around Asia, and especially, for example, India, people there beep all the time, especially in places like Mumbai, like they beep and they smile and they wave because they just want to say hi or tell you they're there, And actually, when I was going to Pakistan, I expected exactly the same thing. And even though there are some areas of Pakistan where people beep a bit, but in most of the areas they don't. For example, in Islamabad, right? Like no one ever beeps, and that was so surprising to me because
Islamabad to bhai,
So even though once
Europe Islamabad
used to be the same thing, but the beeping is definitely better on Pakistan's side. So now the score is 1-0. Let's see what happens next. Difference number 2 is vegetarian options. I've been a vegetarian for 7 years now, I think. And actually traveling around a lot of countries in Asia, it's kind of hard to find vegetarian options. But India is one of the best countries in the world for that, because literally every place has vegetarian options, even McDonald's. Are you kidding me? It's insane. And Pakistan's food is great too, but it's very hard to find vegetarian options.
Vegetarian
so 1 point goes
सब
to
मीट खाते हैं।
1-1 now. Let's continue. Number 3 is cleanliness. Obviously, with both those countries, that of course very much depends on where you're going, because some places could be the fanciest places you've ever seen, and some places could maybe be not the fanciest places you've ever seen. For example, in India, cities like Mumbai are actually really good, except for the slums, of course, or Bangalore, or quite a few other places. But most of the time you would see, some trash and this and that, because once again, there's so many people and stuff. But going to Pakistan, of course, there were some places that weren't the best. But if we look at cities like Islamabad, or once again Lahore, and the places in the mountains and stuff, everything was really, really clean there. It was insane. There were signs everywhere saying, don't litter, you'll get fined, and stuff like that. So another point goes to Pakistan. Difference number 4 is religious diversity. As you know, Pakistan is a majority Muslim country, meaning that way over 90% of the people are Muslim there. But India is basically the cradle of pretty much most of the religions in the world, There's millions of Hindu people, millions of Muslim people, millions of Sikh people, millions of Buddhist people, and a lot of Christians and whatnot. So when you're traveling around India, every single day you'll see people from so many different kinds of religions all living together, for the most part peacefully, and I hope that continues. I know that Hindus and Muslims seem to have a few fights here and there, and that's very unfortunate, but I really hope they will solve their differences, hopefully. And in Pakistan, they also have people of other religions, like they have Christian churches, and in the mountains people have their own ancient religions and stuff. But yeah, the majority of the people are definitely Muslim. So another point goes to India. Thing number 5 is English fluency. So once again, the whole region used to be a British colony for a very long time. Millions of people speak completely fluent English. Traveling around India, I noticed that anyone who goes to like school or university will be completely fluent in English. And actually going to Pakistan, I noticed that it's exactly the same thing. A lot of people speak super fluent English, even no accent and stuff, So the score now is this. Okay, legend, now that I told you the 5 differences of my life in India and Pakistan, I want to tell you one very quick thing. I recently launched this new really cool channel called Stay Curious, where we make very short educational videos about the beautiful world we live in. And of course, we made some videos about both India and Pakistan, as well as many other countries. So when you're done watching this video, smash the link in the description box down below, check us out, see where life takes you. Thanks so much, let's get back to the video. Difference number 6 is infrastructure. So as you know, because of the problems Pakistan faced in the past, it's not a very touristy country because a lot of people still think it's very unsafe and dangerous and stuff. That being said, their tourism industry is many times smaller than that of India's, because millions and millions of people visit India every single year. And because of that, infrastructure for a traveler like myself in India is definitely better. The hostels, the hotels, the buses, the trains, and everything is a bit more easier for tourists to use. But at the same time, it's still very much possible to travel in Pakistan, like you saw. I did it. Didn't really have any problems. That being said, this one goes to India. Difference number 7 is tourist place aggressiveness. So as you know, if you travel in a country that's very touristy, sometimes the people working with tourists will get a bit aggressive. For example, in countries like Morocco and stuff, like sometimes people grab you by the arm and say, give me €5 because I did something for you, sometimes it gets pretty intense. And so if I compare the aggressiveness in the tourist places of Pakistan versus India, I would definitely have to say that in India, it's a lot more aggressive. Once again, because there's a lot more people. And once again, going to Pakistan, I expected it to be similar, but I've never been scammed even once. In fact, a lot of people would give me things for free or buy me things for free and stuff. No one wanted to take advantage.
हमारे साथ भी होता है भाई, हम कराची वाले हैं, अक्सर हम जाते हैं वहाँ पेशावर तो बोलते हैं अरे कराची से आए हो, बैठो बैठो.
People that try to take advantage of it. So it's not really a problem of India, it's the fact that there's so many tourists going there, and obviously some people will want to make maybe more money. That being said, this one goes to Pakistan. Difference number 8 is bus trips. Back in the day, I used to take quite a few different buses in India because I didn't have other transportation options. And if I'm being completely honest with you, it was so bad. Oh my god, dude. It would be so hard because I would always take overnight buses. And in the middle of the night, they would turn on the lights and people would start shouting and screaming and trying to sell you things and waking you up like, hey, you want some water, I mean, it was a great experience for me, but me and other foreigners were like, what's happening here? I've never experienced this before, So yeah, so maybe it was just my experience. I don't know, maybe other people have it better, but my experience traveling in bus in India wasn't the best. So now I take either motorbikes or cars or taxis, or trains are actually amazing. And so I did take
bus traveling as well,
and once again expected them to be similar, but actually they were very much different, because once again I think there's not a lot of people who are trying to take advantage of tourists because there's no tourists there, and so it was calm and peaceful and the lights were off and no one woke us up in the middle of the night. We could do whatever we wanted, So at least me personally, I had a more comfortable experience traveling in buses in Pakistan. But I could have just gotten unlucky. So if you had a great experience of traveling in India by buses, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll apologize 100 times. But that was definitely what I experienced. So this point goes to Pakistan. Ooh, so far Pakistan is winning. Yeah, let's see what happens next. Difference number 9 is places to see. As you know, India is a much bigger country than Pakistan. I mean, Pakistan is huge, you know, but at the same time, India is one of the largest countries in the world with the second largest population in the world, over 1 billion people. And because of that, obviously, India has more places to see that are, I guess, a bit more diverse. That being said, this one goes to India. And finally, difference number 10, hospitality. As you know from the people who have been to both Pakistan or India, both those countries are incredibly hospitable. You will get into many situations where people will pay for you or not ask you for money or host you for free or give you foods and actually force you to eat because they care so much about your health. Like these situations I had in India where people would wake me up in the middle of the night because I was staying in some sort of a shrine and they would say, no, you have to eat. If you don't eat, you're not going to be healthy. Come, please have food with us. You know, like these amazing situations. And in Pakistan as well, there would be situations where people would pay for me in
Pakistan
restaurants simply because I was a foreigner and they wanted to be nice to me and they wanted to be kind to me. And it was really beautiful. And so I have to say that when it comes to hospitality, both these countries are the same. Meaning the score is 5-5.
Level.
Yay! And that's exactly the point of this video. Even though these countries separated, but at the same time, they're both absolutely incredible. They have their differences, they have their similarities, but both of them are really nice, really beautiful, really awesome places to visit. So if you ever get the chance to go to both, you know, India and Pakistan, just make sure you always look at everything with open eyes, and whatever happens to you, just, you know, treat it as a wonderful experience and learn as much as you can from the wonderful local people. That's pretty much it. Let me know what you think about these differences in the comment section down below. See you next time. Peace.
अच्छी थी वीडियो, सही बताया था इसने, बिल्कुल सारी चीजें सही बताई हैं।
एक चीज जबरदस्त बताई है, सही बताया, रेफरेंस बिल्कुल सही है, पॉइंट्स भी सबको सही नहीं है, बिल्कुल बराबर नहीं है। और ये होगा क्योंकि हम लोग जब से वीडियोस देख रहे हैं इंडिया की, तो हमें भी जो फील हो रही हैं चीजें वो उसने बताई हैं,
इसने बताई हैं, इसने सही बताया।
हो सकता है इसके अंदर ऐसा है, हर पॉइंट
इसने एक वो बताया कि वो पाकिस्तान में जो है वो फ्री बहुत देते हैं खाने के लिए ना, पैसे नहीं चार्ज करते हैं, तो ये वाकई में ये फैक्ट है। आप जाएंगे तो आपको बहुत सारे लोग फ्री खिलाएंगे चीजें।
भाई मैं बताऊं, मैं फर्स्ट टाइम जब गया था यहाँ से कराची से, तो मेरे दोस्तों ने वो बोल दिया था ऐसे ही कि भाई ये कराची से आया है। एक हमारा दोस्त वहाँ पे मिल गया था, वहाँ का ही था, पेशावर का, तो वहाँ पे उसने हाँ पख्तूनख्वा में उसने बोला भाई ये कराची से आए हैं, ये मेहमान है। अरे भाई वो ना हमसे कुछ पैसे ले किसी चीज़ के, और बोले यार आपने आगे कहाँ जाना है, सही है भाई गाड़ी करवा दी, जीप करवा दी उसने हमें फ्री की, पूरी जीप करवा दी बुक। भाई आप हमारे मेहमान हो, आप बैठो, आप क्या कहते हैं, आप बस आप बताओ क्या खाओगे।
वहाँ के लोग ऐसे ही हैं, वो लोग ना मेहमान को बहुत कुछ समझते हैं। मेहमान ओ भाई बस। मेरा दोस्त है मेरा ऑफिस में दोस्त है, वो जाता है वहाँ शांगला,
अच्छा
वहाँ उसका एक जानने वाला है, बस नॉर्मल बातचीत है, उसके यहाँ जाता है 15 दिन के लिए जाता है, साल में कभी एक बार। तो वो जो बंदा है शांगला में जो रहता है, अपना कारोबार बंद कर देता है, दुकान बंद कर दी।
अच्छा
उसने कहा भाई
ऐसा ही है भाई,
उसने कहा वो रह रहा है, वो कह रहा है कि यार तुम काम वाम पे नहीं जा रहे, इतने दिन हो गए। वो कह रहा है कि नहीं बस तुम आए हुए और काम बंद 15 दिन के। कह रहा है नहीं भाई क्यों काम क्यों, कह रहा नहीं तुम हमारा मेहमान है कह रहा है मेहमान
ऐसा ही है भाई। हम लोग फर्स्ट टाइम जब गए थे, मुझे अच्छी तरह याद है, मेरे खुद के अपने रिलेटिव जो हैं लाहौर में रहते हैं, वो लोग लाहौर में रहते हैं, उन लोगों के बिजी कितनी लाइफ है उनकी। वो बैठ गए घर पे, एक दिन बोल रहे हैं आप लोग बेटा आप लोग आए हो ना, मैं अपने भाई के साथ गया, वो लोग क्या बोलने के नहीं आप लोग आए हुए हैं तो बस अब। मैंने कहा अरे अंकल क्या काम कर रहे हो आप, ऐसा ना करो, आप अपनी जॉब पे जाओ, आप आराम से हो, हम यही हैं, हम लोग तो कराची वाले, हम सो के भी 12-1 बजे उठते हैं तो फिर हमने 1-2 दिन में बोला बस सही है, 1 दिन हो गया, अब आप तो ऐसा ना करें, आप अपनी वो भी देखिए, हम तो पूरा हफ्ते यहाँ पर हैं, आप लोग
बहुत ज़्यादा
ऐसे हो। वो लोग सारे के सारे बड़ा समझते हैं कि कोई, और हम अपनों को इतना समझते हैं, मतलब कराची से आने वालों को इतनी दूर, और फिर जब फॉरेनर्स आते तो उनके ऊपर तो इंग्लिश सुनते ही फ्लैट हो जाते हैं
और ये है कि और बाकी जो भी डिफरेंसेस बताया उसने वो सारे सही थे। क्लीनलीनेस के
बताया बिल्कुल सही है,
और टूरिस्ट लोकेशंस इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा हैं,
उसको पॉइंट मिलना चाहिए था इंडिया को इस बात पे। और रिलीजियस पे भी इंडिया को ज़्यादा मिलना चाहिए क्योंकि वहाँ पर मेजॉरिटी जो है वहाँ पे वो नहीं है, रिलीजियस जो है वो मल्टीपल है सारे।
हाँ
तो
सारे फैक्ट्स इसके बिल्कुल सही फैक्ट्स, बट बोथ द कंट्रीज आर इक्वल। उसने ये
पीपल आर सेम यार, मैं तो बोलता हूँ दोनों कंट्रीज के, मैं जो मैंने ऑब्जर्व करा है अभी तक, और मैंने क्या सभी ने ऑब्जर्व करा हुआ ये कि पीपल आर सेम फ्रॉम इंडिया एंड फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान आल्सो।
तो गाइस इस वीडियो को यहीं पे एंड करते हैं। ये नीचे जो वीडियोस हैं हमारी प्रीवियस वीडियोस हैं इनको ज़रूर देखिएगा, इसको प्रेस करके चैनल को ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करें और जिन वीडियोस पे आप चाहते हैं कि हम रिएक्ट करें हमें फेसबुक पेज पे उसका लिंक और टाइटल ज़रूर प्रोवाइड करें। मिलते हैं आपसे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में,
तब तक के लिए
अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।